A very good morning to you. Welcome to the show this wonderful Thursday morning. This is Engage, and today we're engaging a couple of women who are here to tell us their story on their experience while breastfeeding at work or when they've had to carry their young ones who are still nursing to various places to do 1, 2, 3 things. Now, this is a conversation that is very heated. Why? Because it brought a lot of controversy yesterday when a member of parliament went into office, or rather work, according to her, with her baby, and that sparked a lot of controversy. We're going to be telling you why and who said what and how and when, and then we are going to be reacting to our own personal experiences. We'll be sharing what each one of us has gone through. We also have 2 wonderful ladies who are nutritionists with us in studio. We're going to be posting our Twitter question in just a bit, but in the meantime, let's take a look at who we have in the studio. On my immediate left, we have Njeri Bakari, MCA Kiambu. Karibu sana to the show.
Asante.
We have Geraldine Mirori, who's an advocate. How do I don't want to say activist. You look like you're coming here with a placard. Yeah. You can also introduce yourself so that they can hear your lovely voice. We have Miss Mulinge there. We also have Jacqueline in studio. So that's just me introducing kwa jumla, but let's hear your voice.
Okay.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Njeri Bakari.
Yes.
I'm an MC Kiambu County, and I'm a breastfeeding mom.
Yes.
My daughter is 12 weeks today.
Yeah.
And I'm excited.
And 8. We have the lovely Geraldine, who's a mom to a half being. We'll tell you why we are using these terms. Yes.
So I am Geraldine Miruri, or Mama Hami.
Yeah.
My son is 1 year, 2 months old.
Yeah.
And I'm very passionate about maternal health care
Yes.
in the country.
Good morning. My name is Eunice Mulinge, a nutritionist and very passionate about breastfeeding and moms in general.
Yeah. We have Jacqueline as well in the house. Hi Jacqueline, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Umekuja mpaka na mtoto. Today we are in for a good lesson.
Yeah.
Yes.
My name is Jacqueline Victoria Nasike.
Yes.
I'm a nurse midwife working at Administration Police Training Head Center.
Yeah.
And also working closely with AMREF doing a product called Tunza Mama.
Yeah.
And on Tunza Mama we are doing birth preparation lessons. Labor and delivery, postnatal,
Yeah.
and complementary feeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me start with you, Jacqueline. Why is it so important to have this conversation in this day and time? Because I'm thinking we have this same issue year in, year out. We have people making a lot of noise when a mother goes to work with her child or when you breastfeed in public. Why are we still having this conversation? Where is the gap?
The gap has been there because as the government had put a bill in 2017,
Yes.
and it was passed.
Yes.
A bill was passed in Parliament, and that at workplaces where you have 30 female employees and above, you are supposed to have a breastfeeding center or a crèche in that capacity.
Yes.
So most places have not
Complied
with this. So it's still a gap, and you find that when you have a young baby, a breastfeeding mother wakes up and the house girl or the house manager is going out. He's also telling you
at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and they know at 6 a.m. is when you're leaving for work.
Yeah.
I've had such an incident,
Yeah.
and I don't get it because the people say it depends on the way you treat her. Let me tell you, that particular one, every 2 weeks, the salon bill on me.
Yeah.
Anything she wants to do on me. It's not like you tell them, Ati, we're not giving you the Wi-Fi password, so you can't watch your Naija. You can do like, in my household, she was being treated like one of my kids, or probably if it's really far-fetched, that's probably my niece. The way you say, just consider me your auntie or your big sister, like that. Like everything she had access to. But on one of these days, she just woke up at 3 a.m. and said, actually had someone doing laundry. So I'm like, ai, umeshindwa kulala, mamboro unafua saa 9. Ati mimi naenda na nataka kuacha kama nimekufulia. I'm like, okay, wait, what? Like my alarm is supposed to go off in like 2 hours, And I just paid her the previous day. So I hear it's a thing they do. Excuses. But anyway, like I'm saying, yes, I relate. Because they just wake up at whatever hour and just say, I'm gone. Whether you're treating them well or badly or not, they're done with you. Yeah. Yes.
So it's still a gap, and most employers need to comply to this bill, so that in case of such a thing, I also had an experience myself when I was nursing my youngest, who is 8 years now.
Yes.
The house girl just left, and I was at work. She left the baby on the couch. So if at my workplace I had, by then I was not working where I am now, but if I had, or if we had such a facility, it could come in handy, because now the house help has gone, and the child is here, and the work is here.
Yes.
So combining the two, you find that these breastfeeding centers will come in handy in helping our mothers, so that I don't miss work and the baby doesn't
suffer as well.
It's not suffering. So when I go with the baby at work, the baby will be taken care of. I'll work.
And your output is also higher because you have peace of mind. You're thinking, my baby is just in the next room, so I can rush over my break and do 1, 2, 3 things. Mulinge, what is your take on this issue? Do you think we are there yet as a nation? Because the thing is, as much as we're advocating for this as a result of the Breastfeeding Bill 2017, we also still have issues with the other aspect of breastfeeding, where just unleashing it in public is a problem. Like, you have to cover the child, etc. And I'm thinking, is that really necessary? For example, we are about to have porridge here brought in because we have breastfeeding moms in our midst, you know. So lazima tutafute hii maziwa. So like, will we ask, for example, Njeria, jifunike alafu kunywe uji chap chap watu wasikuone? Like, where are we at?
I think as a country we are not there yet. Very few companies are actually there, but even the public itself has not. When I see a mom in public breastfeeding, my face glows, but it's not everyone that does that. You'll find that people will give very weird glances, people will not be happy about it. But I think it's time that we appreciate this is the future. Babies are the future, and we need to appreciate the fact that they can feed anywhere the same way. You can actually have your salad everywhere. So why would people be uncomfortable with the babies feeding? Yeah. So I think as a country we have a long way to go.
We have a long way to go. Geraldine, how can we tackle this issue? Because I'm thinking it's also cultural in a way. Yeah. And your personal experience, of course.
Well, so I think we would also, apart from setting up the centers, we would have a flexible time for especially lactating mothers. You see, we only have 3 months leave, but then the baby is supposed to be on exclusive breastfeeding
for 6 months. Yes.
So I wish we had a way that at least it's either the 6 months or from after the 3 months, for 6 months, the time is flexible. She can either get to, say, maybe in the morning and then by 12 she's gone, or come in at around 10 and leaves a bit early, as long as she's delivering what she's supposed to do within that time.
As long as you're done with your workload for the day.
You don't have to stay till 8 to 5. As long as you're done, you can go back home and take care of your child within the 6 months. That would be one thing I think we would do. For me, I remember there was a time when my child was 4 months old. We had to go for a meeting because we needed to train some people, and as the trainers, you needed to be there that day. And then in the morning, my house help decided not to show up. You know, they go for leave and then for weekend.
Yeah, and they don't come back on Sunday. You're calling her like, niko njiani, niko kwa jam, and she knows very well she's not coming. Or the transfer window, December, January. My goodness, these people are just amazing.
She wasn't coming. She didn't come. I needed to be there on time. And my mom wasn't around, so I couldn't take the baby. That day she was committed. My sister was in school. So the baby had to tag along to work. I had to go with him to work, and then it was a whole day activity. So we had like a meeting first, staff meeting, a board meeting, and then after that we had a head count. Which if you didn't have that, then you'd be a ghost worker. So you had to be there.
You just had to be there.
Personally, in person. So the whole day we were doing rounds in the
with the
office
baby.
with the child.
What was the reaction like from your colleagues?
Well, my colleagues were actually very supportive. First of all, he was
Very important.
Yes, at that age, I don't know if other kids do this, but my son wouldn't be picked by anyone else.
It's all of
He
them.
was
It's all of them.
For the meeting,
Yeah.
it was a very senior type of meeting. We had to sit him through. And actually, they're the ones, surprisingly, the older men were the ones who were like, breastfeed the baby now.
Yeah.
The meeting is
or
taking
cover the baby. The baby is cold. Valisha sweater.
They were the ones who were
comments.
concerned, surprisingly. I found it very interesting.
Yeah.
They were the ones like, we in the meeting, then they hold up, they're like, do you need to breastfeed?
Do you need a break? Yeah.
But they were very supportive. And then through the day when we were having the head count, for my colleagues, of which it was actually a county government office,
Yes.
they were very concerned. There was no, one thing I found, like there's no place for, what do you call it? If you need to diaper change.
Oh yeah, changing room. Yeah,
There's no changing room for the baby. We had to create space somewhere in someone's personal office.
Yeah.
And I found it very, very nice, although it made me realize we need also these spaces for the children. It's not just the breastfeeding. Apart from that sanitized breastfeeding area or a place to
absolutely important.
Because even at the workplace, we used to go breastfeed. We used to go express in the kitchen because there was nowhere else.
Yes.
So apart from the sanitized,
and then even when you're
areas for
expressing, you're not even sure if the fridge itself has the right temperature. So you're there. How many hours is it again? We have nutritionists in the house. How many hours can it stay outside the fridge?
6 to 8 hours.
6 to 8 hours. So here you're thinking, boy, itatoka 5 sangapi, there's traffic, so imazo itafika ikiwa poa, you know, all those you don't, it's really unnecessary.
And
so I
then you're
understand the
there
struggle.
expressing standing because
Yes, there's no space.
Yeah, so for me, I found that as a gap that we need to deal with. Yeah, you know, so not just the expressing place, but also the changing rooms for the babies.
Yeah, sanitize to be specific. Jerry.
Yes.
I'm laughing at you because I know of all of us, your schedule is the craziest.
I know.
You have to be up and down in the public eye. So what was your personal experience? You're a new mom. Congratulations, first of all. New wengine hakuna, there is no riding on new mom. You're tuache. Hakuna to baby. Look at Njeri Bara. No excuses. Sisi wengine ni chipo. To me accept. To me accept. It's okay. Yeah. So your personal experience.
Well, I wouldn't say I've had a bad experience.
Yeah.
I went with my baby the first time when she was, I think, a month. There was a matter of counting patterns, so you have to attend.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a DM at the time, so I had to tag her along. And
DM, guys, is domestic manager. See, DM me as in message me. Before they're like, here she wants to DM us. Yeah.
All right. So I had to go with the baby to work, but we don't have a nursing bay.
Yes.
So I had to keep holding her because, you know, you can't sit her down, you can't leave her in the
she's
car.
1 month old.
Yes, so I asked the sergeant, can I just enter with her to the chambers? The sergeant was like, no, you can't go with her to the chambers. I'm like, why? 1, she's a stranger. 2, she will distract the assembly in case she cries, and that will be uncalled for. So I was like, okay, so what do? I need to be here.
Yeah.
So the sergeant told me, you can get one of the sergeants to hold your baby, then you get in for a few minutes, then you keep coming
in and
checking.
out. Yeah.
So I was like, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But also you have to sit at
Near the end.
Because you can't keep telling,
excuse. Yeah.
Yes, and once the speaker is on the floor of the house, you can't walk out.
Yeah.
So even if she cries, you just have to stick there.
Yeah.
So, but I thank God for my colleagues. They're very supportive, the men, the women, but they were feeling sorry for me. So I'm like, your baby is too young to be outside, I mean, to be where all these people are, to be the climate, everything wasn't right. But I was like, I have a passion for politics. I love my job. So.
And you still want to be mom?
I want to be a mom, so I have to balance the two.
Yes.
So I have to tag her along, do what I can, then leave as soon as I can.
So yesterday's incident was deja vu for you, like it was, you could totally relate.
Okay, I
what's your take on that?
I wasn't chased out.
Yeah, no, but you'd relate like
okay, I'd relate,
because there are two sides to these stories. There's some who are saying every step the Mheshimiwa made was calculated, like she just did it intentionally. There's some who are saying it was out of necessity. So I don't know, because what I saw is probably what you didn't see. So what was your take on that?
Okay, let me just put this across. In politics, whether you do something good, whether you do something bad,
it's politicized.
It's politicized.
It's politicized.
So the mom, she said she had an emergency, which I believe the DM went missing in the morning, and she had to come to work.
We all know the story.
So she had to tag the baby. But on the other end, people will think, no, it was a breastfeeding week.
Yeah, so she was planning it around that day.
We need to stage manage something, but I don't think she will stoop that low to stage manage and bring her baby to the media and all that, because being embarrassed.
Initially, she's not even the one who did the bill, like she's nowhere near that.
Exactly. Yeah. But then again, I feel the surgeons will have advised her accordingly.
Yeah, like you said, you had to consult with yours at the time.
Yes, because you always find them at the entrance of the chambers. So they'll advise you, you cannot come in with this, you cannot do this. So I think the surgeons did not advise her.
Yeah.
Yes,
because
I feel she didn't deserve to go through that.
Yeah.
And again, being the National Assembly which passed the bill, I think they should lead by example. They should be having a breastfeeding corner.
There were pictures all over the place. I don't know if my director can show us some of that. And I was saying there is a place like that. But why she chose to come in with the baby, I don't know. Because I was saying she talked to the surgeon at arms, and then when the guy was turning to look for a female surgeon, she just walked in with the baby. I don't know, there's so many stories surrounding that incident. She couldn't make time to be with us today, but for obvious reasons. But I would have really wanted her to tell us her story. Yeah. Back to you, Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Why is it important? We've just briefly touched on our personal experiences. Why is it important for mothers to be able to feed anywhere, anytime? I feel like adding anyhow because of the covering aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, mothers should be able to feed anywhere, anytime, because as you understand, right now we have good dressing that one can put on, and when that has been put on, it will not impede the baby from breastfeeding, because it will not expose the whole breast like the way this one of mine is exposed.
Yeah.
It will be just part of it that is exposed, and that part that is exposed, the baby has already put in the mouth. So it is not like she's exposing any
everything.
Part. We have dressings which cut this side. So when she's breastfeeding, maybe on the left, she just does on the left. When it is on the right, she does on the right. We have others that are separated downwards.
Yes.
So the downward one, she just moves a bit, and it's so comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We have even the one that is like screen-like. So when the baby is breastfeeding, she's just doing like a screen, just in front. She covers like this. So it is not something that will make her feel embarrassed in public that I'm exposing myself, and even when maybe other men are seeing her, she won't feel embarrassed.
Okay.
Yeah, because we find out, we realize that babies need to feed oftenly. So this oftenly is maybe after 2 hours, 3 hours. Like for my sister, she must be feeding, at least doing 8 feeds in a day. That is about every 3 hours. So every 3 hours, the baby has to feed at that age. If we are doing exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months, so if she's not feeding, then she'll not add weight as we intend.
Yes.
Because we intend that the initial times, she needs to add, or he needs to add about a kg. From 0.8 grams kgs to 1 kg is ideal.
Okay.
So unless the baby is feeding at that frequency, you'll find that this baby is not adding weight.
Yeah.
And when we miss it at the initial stage, then we miss it the rest of the time.
And you can imagine, because people are most of the people are up against breastfeeding in public, or even like you having your child at work.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you'd carry your child to work because of maybe the DM incidences,
Yeah.
but also, what is the core thing? The baby needs to feed.
Yeah.
And if we have a generation of sick children, then what are we looking at in the future? What are we doing exactly? So I
Yeah.
think people need to know the reason why, the real base of this situation. It's not like people just wake up and decide, Jerry and Geraldine, I mean, it's not like that. It's a necessity.
Yeah.
So Mulinge, your take on this nutrition aspect and the breastfeeding. Why do we need to breastfeed? And then in what instances do we have a new mom who cannot be able to breastfeed, and what can they do about it? Because there's some are thinking, oh now, like what are they talking about? Me hata sina maziwa, you know, like some of us can be taking it for granted that you just have a child and you have milk flow. So probably there's some who don't, so what can they do about it? But start with first. Yeah, why, the why.
So maybe the first thing is to actually talk about why exclusive breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Reason being, there's a big, so many studies that were done before they actually came up with the 6 months. One, the breast milk comes with all the nutrients in the right proportions, in the right temperature for the baby at that age. So if the baby is getting all the nutrients at the particular time, at the right temperature, in the right proportions, then it's something that we cannot ignore. The second thing is that breastfed babies, exclusively breastfed babies, 0 to 6 months, have actually shown to, in future, less diabetes, less cancer, even lifestyle diseases for the babies are actually on the low, obesity and all. Then the IQ of babies that are exclusively breastfed has actually been shown to be higher than formula fed or other feeds that are given 0 to 6 months. Then the breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding, is not only to the baby. Mothers also benefit. One, shedding the baby fat, which is a big thing that maybe most mothers would want to know. Yeah. So it actually helps, because breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding, is a workout on its own. You lose 500 kilocalories per day if you're exclusive breastfeeding. You cannot compare that to walking or even swimming or any workout. It's a very intense workout. So for the mom, it also helps in prolonging we'd call it getting another baby. That's a whole topic on its own, but which is now up to 6 weeks. So don't
6 weeks.
Don't push it.
No, 6. Don't push it, because nowadays when you go back for the first, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So exclusive breastfed babies are actually very healthy. So we cannot overlook that. The other thing, there are mothers that will say, I don't have milk, my milk supply is low. But so many researchers, and this can be argued on both ways, but I believe all mothers that are healthy can produce milk. You just need the right environment, the right diet, and to do the right things to get milk.
So what exactly do you mean by the right environment? Then Jackie will tell us about the right things. Because I'm thinking there are also myths.
Yes.
You have to eat njahe for you to produce 20 liters. And I'm thinking, my God, fresh and common. And I was like, yeah.
My milk disappeared at week 10.
Yeah.
And it went and went.
So njahe, did it work for you? Uji, thermos, like you wake up at 4 a.m., it's there.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was told to buy brewer's yeast.
I don't know, fenugreek seeds.
Dill seeds. I had.
They're not, by the way, one bob. They are not cheap.
I had all of them. Fenugreek, dill seeds, brewer's yeast, nothing.
Nothing worked for you. The experts are here. You'll be certain.
So maybe to go back to that, I have worked with mothers that didn't have milk. I actually have one who's now doing the 6th week. She didn't have milk, reason being she had a thyroid issue. And we worked on changing so many things, and the first thing was not diet.
you first work on, is anything stressing this mom? Is this mom comfortable about her body? Is she comfortable about her environment? And then you move to the diet, and I'll introduce those things like the lactation cookies that have the brewer's yeast and all. So the first thing for that mom was
state of mind.
Yes, it was state of mind. And it was that one thing that someone had stressed her. So you see, when she relaxed and was good with it, the milk started flowing, the first 30 ml, 100, and by the time we got to the cookies, then she was okay.
Geraldine, you were stressed.
So maybe it could have been stress, and you were thinking about the food.
Well,
and then also even stressing about the fact that you don't have the meal, adding another
makes
problem.
it even worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That
So
was partly it, plus I think my CS wound was taking too long to heal. And there was pain.
I don't like hearing those stories.
Like breastfeeding was. I thought it used to be as easy as everyone or natural to every woman. I struggled.
Yeah.
We really struggled for almost 2 months.
Yeah.
With the breastfeeding.
So what was your go-to? Because now I'm thinking you're stressed, you have to work, you have the DM issues.
Yeah.
Then maziwa haiko, which is even now the greatest fear, because you're thinking, my kid is screaming their head off, and I can't do anything about it.
Latching properly.
Yeah, that too. Like, you're told, I don't know, there's a way you have to
hold
you
the
will
baby.
teach us,
Yeah, we have a baby.
There's a way you have to hold a baby, and the way you want me to hold the baby is where my CS wound is. You guys, you know? So you have so many problems in a day. So what was your go-to? What were you using? Because now you didn't have breast milk.
For me, I did, I struggled a lot with the breastfeeding. First, the baby wasn't latching. First, it happened because I had my labor was too long, so at the end of the day, we had to go for CS. And during the 6 hours that after the CS, you're told you not to do anything, they gave the baby formula. So from that, he never. It took time for him to get back to breast milk.
Yeah, by you were told not to do anything. What do you mean?
Like, don't hold the baby, just lay. They said to avoid back issues later. You just lay flat for 6 hours. Not talk, not do anything, just relax. So I did breastfeed.
These ones are nice. I was just told when the headache starts, take coffee. Mutatuambia how that coffee comes in. I remember that one.
Cock coffee.
Yeah.
So for 6 hours we don't do anything. So during those 6 hours they give him formula.
Yeah.
So getting out to, and then during the first 3 days at the hospital, although they said it was normal for CS moms, I didn't have milk. Even a single, you see, like the way they tell you that there'd be water coming out. Nothing.
It's clear, that's still milk, don't
there
worry.
was no water, no nothing.
Ukambani drought
so
had visited
me. Frustrated also.
Yeah.
I think, so they said, like, I think the baby got frustrated because there was no water, no nothing coming out.
Yeah.
For the first 3 days.
Yeah.
So he was constantly on formula.
Yeah.
Now so he got used, and they were giving it to him using the cup, the small cup. So now, breastfeeding, never. You'd hold him like this, like you want him to breastfeed. Instead of him coming towards the boob, he would
like, now this one wants to torture me again.
I know, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
It took so much effort that we had to, even the nurses had to press like the nipple inside his mouth. You used to now, you scratch his foot, he opens the mouth, like crying, then you now put all of it physically. So for me, it was
a struggle, a rough start. So probably that explains when you're saying state of mind, because when all this is going on and you're thinking,
is my baby going to be okay? But maybe I could add to something.
Yes.
We are recently the Human Milk Bank was launched, and I think if
at Pumwani,
yes, at Pumwani. So I think it would have been, if we have more of those, then we can actually help CS mothers during the 6 hours. So you see, when the baby is given the milk for that time, then you can continue without confusing the baby with formula and the breast milk. Even the taste is different. Yes.
Yeah. And we know they're very picky because at that age they're like, what is that?
Yeah.
And they just reject you altogether.
Yes.
So Jerry, did you have a problem? Mama, yours was, hey, let's do this.
I also struggled for 2 weeks. So I also went something close to hers. So when I gave birth, the baby was brought to me. So you brought to me the baby, then what?
Then what? It's while you're thinking, okay, alafu.
So she was brought in the katroli. She was put there. So I'm like, Mommy, there is your baby. So I'm like, okay. So I turned and slept.
Jackie, you know the people who didn't go to ANC because you people teach.
I went, but I missed. I don't know. I missed the
because I know these days they are very particular. There has to be that class. They have to teach you.
So us, where I used to go for my ANC, once you give birth, then you go for the classes.
Oh.
Yes. So
It's
when
the other way around.
the actual baby is there.
Oh, okay.
So the baby is there. I was just too tired, so I just turned and slept. So the nurse comes and I'm like, Margaret, why aren't you feeding your baby? So I'm like, nurse alimleta hapa kaniambia lale. So akaniambia hujafunzwa kushika mtoto and everything because I had phobia kushika watoto. So I was like, okay.
Tamwangusha.
And she was tiny. She was 2.8. So and she was small.
Sukari.
You put your hands, then you hold her from here, then you
the baby has to the stomach has to do what?
Yes. So many angles that you can't hack. So I was like, okay. Matiti 0, water 0. Also dry. So the nurse told me, okay, then I'll feed her on formula. Then you keep trying. Every time I bring the baby to you, mwekea kwa matiti. When I put her kwa matiti, she won't do a thing. She'll just stay there. You did
you can't pinch. You put the nipple.
They told me you do this. She opened the mouth. So I do this. Then the toe, the feet, I scratch.
Anakuangalia tu.
She's not reacting. So when it used to pick her 3 hours, I rush her to the nursery. I sneak her in.
Okay.
So that they feed her, then I approximate. There are some few minutes, like 30. Then I go and like, nurse, I want to see my baby. So I know she has fed.
Survival tactics,
Yes, I had to do that because there was nothing coming out, and I was feeling like, kwa nini natesa mtoto wangu? I was feeling the pain. So a certain nurse came. At night, she found me sneaking the baby. So she was like, where are you taking the baby? I was like, I was going to look for diapers. I was like, they're in your trolley.
So what else?
I hadn't even changed the baby. I didn't know how to change. Everything was just, I was just green. So she told me, umepeleka wapi mtoto? So I was like, diaper change. Umemnyonyesha? Nilikuwa nimejaribu turudi. So she was on my case. So when we came back, she was actually kind to me. She was like, okay, be patient, relax, be easy.
Same thing you're saying. State of mind first.
So it's okay, I've relaxed and I'm easy. But if she won't feed, I'll be stressed. I was like, you're doing more harm. So I relaxed. Water started coming out. So she was latching in all manner of ways that you could think of. I tried, so I didn't know the right way. So she was telling me the angles and everything. When I tried to, I'm like, no. But then for like 2 hours, she was latching, and now my nipple started
blistering.
Yes. And now she'll feed on one breast and she won't feed on the other.
And
So
and she wants the one that has a blister.
So I was like, okay, it's now breastfeeding time. Oh no. I put her. Then all of a sudden, she now decided she won't breastfeed again. So I turned to formula for 2 weeks. I used to put her on my breast and she would scream. Back when my mom was like, what's wrong with the baby? What are you doing to her? She will come to my room running. I was like, what's wrong? And like, she's not feeding. So what do? I express, then I bottle feed her. And she will feed so well with the bottle. So well. So at least I was getting encouraged. Then after those 2 weeks, from nowhere, she just decided she'll be breastfeeding. So I was like,
thank God.
Then now a while back, then my milk is I don't know if it's disappearing or it's not enough. I just don't know. So I have to supplement the two.
No, okay.
I give
the breast milk and formula.
And formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jackie, listening to the lovely ladies here, you're seeing gaps.
The gaps, yeah.
The gaps. So what are we supposed to do in cases like this? Because I know these days most hospitals have even maternity packages prior. So when you start going to the clinic, it's not, I don't look at it as a financial pitch. They're just trying to show you can plan. This is what you can get. This is if this is what you can afford, go for it. Then they also have classes before. Yeah. Like you deliver, they tell you, so this is how they have this.
We have the
tools.
those.
Yeah. So they tell you this is how you hold the baby, this is what you do, and then probably you can have an elective, is it called elective CS? Or you can go, like they actually empower you. So by the time you're going in there, you have, you're aware and you have options. See, this is like, which hospitals are these?
I'm just like, this is for us. The woman down there. Public hospitals do not have that. They do not. I started my clinic in a public hospital. It didn't have. And then we were like the first 30 of us. You have to be there. If you're not among the first 30 in the morning, you won't.
Which is quite strange because I think those ones are the ones who are very keen on these things. They even have like the clinic cards, like from like 2 days after you conceive or 2 hours, like the ICAD, this is what you're supposed to do. They didn't, no?
I'm working in a public hospital myself. So when you say that,
because I'm sure they're more keen than the private ones. Like they tell you, this is it. This is the card. These are the steps. So I don't know. Maybe I need to
maybe
by the way.
So everything was breaking news for you. Like no mtoto, like okay, hey, alafu.
Change later. Yeah. Because I was like, first the queues were too long, and there was a time I was having like cramps, and I had to queue from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. to have the ultrasound done in a public hospital. So I had to change. I decided, no, I can't do this. I went to I went now to a mission hospital where now they insisted. Later on is when I started going to the mission hospital when I was about 8 months, and then so there the nurses were very nice. And the first question actually they asked me, when you started clinic, did the nurses check your breast? I'm like, no, is that supposed to happen?
Like why?
I'm like, why? Like, oh my goodness. So now we have to do that. And then now when she was checking, she told me, oh goodness, first of all, you have an what did she? An inverted nipple. Like this would, if it would, no, Natalie, there's a way, I don't know, you manipulate it and things like that. But now you see it was almost, she's like, no, we can't do much because if we do again, we'll trigger labor. We might trigger labor. But she's like, these are some of the things that should have happened in those initial stages. Yeah,
you've mentioned working in a public hospital.
Yeah, I'm working in a public hospital myself.
Yeah, so the first, when a woman comes in and says, so I'm expecting, what do you do? Because I think some of these discussions that we are having around this breastfeeding in public or carrying a baby to work start there. Yeah, they start there because if we are not empowered, we don't have knowledge, then you go doing your own things. You go doing your own things. So even the things that we're doing probably also irritate people out there. So we're also there just unleashing, doing our own things, you know. We can't, there's a way, like you said, there are various types, there are different types of clothings you can actually use that will not offend people. Okay, I don't get, first of all, why people are getting offended. That is out of the way. But still, there are still ways you can just do your thing and be comfortable. So what's the first thing you do?
I'm working in a public hospital, as you said, and I'm very passionate about my work. I've been working for the past 20 years. And now what I learned to do as an individual, I don't go as per what others are doing. As an individual, I identify the needs individually. Because these mothers come in, one is at 37, one is at 10 weeks, one is at 20. So they are individual needs. So as you advise,
some on baby number 1, some on baby 50. So
you need to identify the individual needs for this mother. Then when I've identified, I I give information basing on the need. I don't give blanket information.
Yes.
Because there you won't address her issue.
Yes.
So when you give individualized care to every mother, and you assume that when you encounter this mother for the first time, you may not get her any other day.
Yes.
So you give enough information, bearing in mind that if she needs a scan, she has to do at least a scan. We need like 3 scans in the entire pregnancy, first trimester, second and third, but at least a scan. If she can't have the 3, at least 1 will lead us somewhere.
Yes.
So that we plan on the mode of delivery, mode of management. And when the baby has come, we need the 3 B's in breastfeeding. We need the baby, we need the breast, and we need the brain of the mother.
Yes.
So the 3 are just a cycle. When the baby is there, the baby is put right on the breast. Then this breast will send the message to the brain, telling the brain that now the baby is here. We need to do something. What is it? We need to produce some hormones, prolactin and oxytocin, to come in. Prolactin for the production and oxytocin for the letdown. So it is the brain that is sensitizing the breast. Do this. And the more you put this baby, this is the client.
Yes.
This is the factory.
The client, yes.
This is the factory. So when this factory realizes that this client needs 10 liters, the brain will produce 10 liters automatically. If this client is in need of 5, it will produce 5.
Okay.
So that the more you put the baby on the breast, the more the production. So this issue of no milk should not be coming in, because the more you put, the more the production.
Yes,
and also
I've heard
the
that
position.
before. Like the more you breastfeed, so even if like the way you're saying, Jerry, that atu unamweka hapo nothing, hafanyi anything, but the more unamweka hapo na anafanya kitu, it sends it to the brain. You need to be doing something.
Maybe I can ask her a question. I have a friend. The baby has not breastfed since birth, and I think now they are at I think 8 to 10 weeks.
Okay.
So she opted to give uji and formula. So is there still hope for her to? No, she told herself.
She advised
our experiences. So she was sharing. So I'm asking, is there hope for her? Milk will never come.
Yeah,
the baby has never breastfed.
It will. Basically, what happens is during pregnancy, there are some sebum that is produced around this nipple. This we call the areola. So when this sebum is produced, within the first hour after delivery or after CS, the baby, if is put on this breast, it identifies this sebum smells like the amniotic fluid. So the baby will identify with it, and that urge to breastfeed is there during the first hour.
And this is where we have, that's why I was wondering when she says she was told not to have her baby in the first 6 hours, because I know there's the crawl, right? There's the crawl.
When you sleep the different positions in breastfeeding, they could have put you in that position,
and the baby crawls towards it because of what she's explaining now, the smell, like they know where to go. Because people ask, Sasa wina amejuaje, like you've just had the baby and they know where to go. They even have like, they sniff around and they're like, and you're like,
they're just identifying with what is here, which was in the amniotic fluid. So, and that's why when you give me your baby, the baby may not breastfeed on me.
It's not
because we are not smelling the same.
The same.
So it goes to the mother and it breastfeeds there automatically within the first hour. That urge is there within very strong within the first hour. So when the hour elapses, then the brain identifies that
there's nothing here.
There's nothing, or maybe my mother is dead or something like that.
Yeah.
So the baby goes slow on breastfeeding.
Okay.
That's now where we start having problems.
Yeah.
This baby did not breastfeed. Why?
Yeah.
Because it was delayed. There was just a delay.
Because I know there's supposed to be immediate contact yes or not. So I was wondering when you said the 6 hours.
6 hours.
In fact, if it is a normal delivery, before even the cord is cut, you get the baby out, then you put it here. Then it will identify with the breast. In fact, without even you taking the baby, telling this is the breast, it will identify with it because of that smell.
Yeah, let's take a short break. Then when we come back, we'll continue with this discussion. It's very interesting. I'll tell you why. This is also why I don't know, they can tell me if I'm wrong or right. This is my thinking, my thought process. This is also why, you can walk into the room and the baby was sleeping for like 20 hours. And then, mom. You've heard that? She'll tell us if that's the same thing, So let's take a short break. When we come back, we will continue having this breastfeeding discussion. We are starting from where this knowledge starts. When immediately you conceive, what we need to know about breastfeeding, and then also why when we go to the public or when we carry our babies to work, it's a big issue. Let's take a short break. When we come back, the breastfeeding conversation continues. We also have our Twitter question, which we'll put up after the break, and then you can start interacting with us via at TV47KE or via my direct Twitter handle at Angie Wangeshi. I'll post the question. Let's take a short break, then come back.
It's celebration time at the largest private university in East Africa, Mount Kenya University. Join us as we hold our 16th graduation ceremony on 9th August 2019 at Happy Valley Grounds, Thika, starting 9 a.m. The chief guest will be Professor Raymond Masharia, a scientific and educational researcher at the University of London. Come and learn the role of universities in enhancing sustainable development through community outreach programs. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
Dunia ni duara na yote yanayofungana hufunguka. Kila kukicha mapya yanasawazisha jana na ya leo.
Bila shaka hatuwezi kubadili muundo wa maisha yako, lakini hakikisho letu kwako ni kwamba tutahakikisha asubuhi yako inaanza katika mpigo uliobomba zaidi.
Inakuwaje Kenya tufunge Tanzania baada ya mechi kuimiliki?
Tunarauka nawe kwa uchambuzi wa kina wa taarifa mbalimbali.
Tutaangazia kaunti mbalimbali moja baada ya nyingine.
Mazungumzo na majadiliano yanayokujenga wewe nafsi yako.
Hatutasahau burudani, Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa.
Naam, fuata nyuki ule asali. Wiki hii nitakupeleka kwenye tamasha za mapochopocho kemkem. Nikuonjeshe lishe mbalimbali na pilipili inayopasha. Je, wapenda vyakula vyenye ladha? Na je, wapenda burudani ya kisasa? Basi utakosaje? Tukutane saa 11 Jumamosi ijayo katika runinga uipendayo. TV47, macho na sauti yetu.
Welcome back. This is Engage this Thursday morning. Remember, we are having the breastfeeding at work or in public conversation. And it has been quite interesting. We find people like Jerry and Geraldine having OMG moments, and we are all learning. We are all learning. We are also getting a lot of advice from Jackie and Mulinge here. On your pro in this sector. So there are things we want to demystify, but also you were talking about the secretion that comes out when a baby is born and how the baby just crawls automatically towards the breast. So we were asking before we went to the break, is that also the same thing when you see the baby probably was sleeping while you're at work, but the moment you walk in, as much as you're tiptoeing, it doesn't matter how quiet you are, they will just be like full-blown awake. Oh, look at your baby. Full-blown awake. So they'd be like, is it the same thing? Do they actually smell the mom? Ama, this is just a myth.
Yeah, it is true that the baby smell, and also their sense of just touch is so high. Because bear in mind, this time they are not able to talk. But from your touch, they are able to see and gauge if you are annoyed or you are in your good moods. And babies start hearing your sound at the age of 6 months, that is 24 weeks, in the uterus. So they are able to hear you, whether you whisper or not.
Then they tell you sing, to do what. They even advise you to have other relatives talk to the baby bump, because then the baby gets to know whose voice is who's daddy, who's uncle, who's the sibling.
So once the baby is born, it has been hearing a few voices that are familiar. This baby just automatically identifies with the voices and the acts that of touch. This is touch from mom, this is touch from dad, and the different responses as you touch. Because these other people who are visitors may touch and they are not the same touch. The tone of the touch is different from the mother's. So they'll sense that this is a stranger. And that's why they keep on crying.
They reject, they cry.
They reject. Some even just withdraw with the hands. So it is so automatic the way God has made our babies to respond to us. You just love it. And for a mother, breastfeeding gives you a lot of satisfaction. When you breastfeed, you get satisfied that now I'm a mother. And for those who are not able to breastfeed, ideally that time they are tortured.
As we continue with this conversation, remember we have our Twitter question, which is, what is your experience of breastfeeding at work? What is your experience of breastfeeding at work or in public? Engage us via TV47KE or via my Twitter handle at Angie Wangeshi. I'll be reading your feedback in just a bit. Let's continue with this conversation. In the meantime, we also have questions around people who want to breastfeed, but they get, what is it called? Is it nausea? Like, you see, when you're saying when someone is breastfeeding, it's Mulinge was saying, it helps you lose the weight. And also, I know there's something to do with getting your uterus back to its normal size. But also, with that comes a lot of cramping and nausea. I had personal experience with nausea. My God, I couldn't, you see the way like your child would want to breastfeed, you put her there, she screams. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Like I couldn't eat before breastfeeding because I know nothing will stay down. What is all of that?
It is the involvement of the hormones. Earlier on I had talked about prolactin, which is a hormone involved in late milk production, and oxytocin in milk letdown. So you'll find that soon after delivery, the uterus is a bit bulky. So when you breastfeed, the oxytocin part goes to the uterus to make it contract and become smaller. That is now where you get to the cramps.
Down memory lane. She's literally feeling the pain. She's like, oh my God,
So different people respond differently to these hormones. There are some who, even when we are using the hormones for family planning, some who will vomit when they use the same hormone. Because it is that is how the body is responding. The other person may not feel a thing.
They feel nothing.
Yeah.
First of all, I say some of these things are just like natural contraceptives, because if you go through a tumultuous pregnancy, like you have the morning sickness, you're the one who can't feed, mara tena when you give birth you can't get milk, like all these problems, why would you want to go there around 2 to around 5 again? So the problems are so many. Yes,
so that is how your body is responding. But now those gaps are the ones us as Tunza Mama have come in to bridge the gaps.
Yes.
We saw many mothers are suffering with prolonged labor, with lack of knowledge. Somebody is having a baby and she doesn't know a thing.
Nigerian company.
You meet like you are meeting with your baby. All of
your
you are
baby, okay, we sleep.
So as Tunza Mama, we are insisting on taking mothers through birth preparation, whereby we tell them and we try to answer most of the questions that one may have, so that by the time you reach your labor, we are reducing your labor by 50%. That is our biggest aim. And we encourage mothers to walk in labor smiling.
I can see people who are going for round 2 very soon. They want the ultimate experience.
You go in labor smiling, come out smiling. Yes. Why? Because you have information. And information is power.
So you're not unnecessarily anxious because you're fearing the unknown. First of all, probably it's your first child. Then here you're being told, go for a CS. Then you're thinking, this pain is incredible. These people are telling you, take coffee. You're like, okay, all these things are not even making sense. They're telling you, hold the baby. So it's too much.
With the education we are giving, even some of the CSs we have had to avoid. I have mothers whom have walked through when they were having wrong positioning of the baby. And when we do the exercises, the baby places itself to the right position, because it also depends on where you are sitting before going into labor. Which will also be enlarging your pelvic bones, and the baby will engage comfortably. But if you are sitting in a wrong seat, the pelvic bone will be narrowing. So that time the baby
will have to create their own space and to adjust.
Some of those things are also what is happening with the breastfeeding. When you are breastfeeding, where are you sitting? How are you sitting? Or where are you lying? How are you lying? Because some positions are just too weird to express, to expose the breast enough, so that the baby is latching on properly. Because bear in mind, when this baby is put on the breast, it's supposed to open the mouth as much as possible. Then this part, the brown part, is called the areola. Much of it needs to be in the baby's mouth, so that the baby is pressing on this part where we have the
entire black area,
the alveoli, and that is, and then they need to be stimulated so that the milk is coming from the duct to this. Now that is why when the baby is put on the breast, they do faster pressing, like fast ones. Then when the milk has been produced, now they do longer ones to swallow.
They know how to regulate.
They know how to regulate. So initially you'll find your baby doing faster moves to stimulate the breast. Then when the milk is coming, of course it will come on the breast you have put and the other one. It will come simultaneously. So you need
you can put this on the other hand so that everyone can see. So when you have put the baby has been stimulating on this part, the milk will be produced. Then it will start now coming. When it comes,
the baby will relax and start swallowing.
Yeah.
That is when the mother is seated well.
Initially, when the baby is latching, this is what you're saying, they stimulate it, and then now the milk comes.
Yeah.
So it's not now the baby pulling, theirs is just to now swallow the amount that is coming through.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when the baby has latched on properly, you are, as a mother, you are seated in a correct position.
Yes.
We shall minimize these problems at the nipple. Anytime
the latching wrongly.
Yeah, anytime the baby, there is pain, when the mother is breastfeeding, there is pain around the nipple. That one is definitely wrong positioning.
Yes.
So when she tells me, when she comes to me and she tells me such, I automatically know
what to
she's
do.
sitting on a wrong seat, and that has brought in the wrong positioning.
Okay.
And we also have other problems like breast engorgement. We have others whom, when the milk is produced, it comes out on the areola, apart from coming through the duct. So those are inevitable problems that one may need to go in for treatment than to breastfeed. Yeah. Because it will be leaking on the skin.
How about also the creams that sometimes you people prescribe? Are they advisable? Because sometimes you can be told if you're blistering, you apply this cream, and yet the baby will come, nipple cream, and the baby will also come and latch on that. Does it affect the baby, or that's fine? Are they
Some
safe?
babies are affected.
Okay.
Yeah, some are not. But if the best or the ideal, when you want to cut on the cost, when after breastfeeding and the nipple is cracking, you just express some of the milk. It has some oil, then you wrap around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mulinge, back to you. When you're teaching these mothers, I won't even call them young or old, just mothers. These days, even people at 50 are just doing their thing. You're like, yo, no, life is starting. How do you advise them when it comes to nutrition? You said there are things you can do. So do we need to eat particular foods so that we have this milk flowing, or anything goes? Because at times we hear people saying, don't be fooled. You want to get your pre-baby board, don't do the njahe, sujui uji, 10 carbs. Like, you don't need to do that.
Okay, it's such an interesting topic because everyone has their say on this, because our mothers, our shoshos were doing something, different things.
Yes.
So the first thing is, do not, breast milk is all about the water that you're taking. If you're not taking water and you're eating well, then you're not going to produce milk. So it's eating a balanced diet that is inclusive of all the food groups in the right portions, not exceeding too much, because at times we go overboard with that and actually have an issue going back to pre-baby weight, because you are overfeeding in the saying that the baby is going to breastfeeding. So take a lot of water, take lots of fluids. It doesn't have to be uji. You can take warm water, warm chocolate,
bone broth.
Bone broth. Then now do a good. So do veggies and fruits and include all the food groups, and then take lots of fluids, because breast milk is not solid.
Mulinge, how about the person who's saying eating healthy is very expensive? I know it is very expensive. So what can they do?
I can actually tell you, eating healthy is actually the most cheapest thing in Nairobi or in Kenya.
In Nairobi.
I will tell you, in Kenya, the best foods that are actually super and nice foods and healthy foods are the most affordable.
Okay.
Because you go with the beans, kamande, ndengu, skuma, spinach, terere. I think mentioning those ones are foods that you can find anywhere. So don't go for expensive food saying that those are the healthy foods. Lettuce. No.
Maybe I can ask you, Nita.
Yes.
What if you don't have appetite? Like someone who is struggling with the appetite.
Yeah, there are those two.
Yes, and I know of a friend somewhere else who is struggling with appetite.
The appetite.
Yes.
I think I wouldn't want to rush into saying they don't have appetite. It depends on what caused it, and is she in fear of gaining weight? Because it happens. You don't want.
It all comes back to the
mind.
Yes.
So you need to sit this mother down and tell her, you see, you're not eating for you. you're eating because you need to produce the milk for the baby. Yes. So the appetite aspect goes back to she's happy for a friend.
Why do you have a feeling for a friend?
I thought so too. So you need to actually sit down, think about the baby. This baby is not going to be on you and on your body forever. So you do it for a period of time. We actually recommend 0 to 2 years.
And maybe we need also to ask her what amount
of food is she claiming that is
if
not.
somebody has brought uji ya kukia 20 liters and she needs you to finish. You can't have appetite
and they
for
tell
that.
you by 3 you need to have been through these 20 liters will bring more.
That will be too much.
Yeah. Remember we have our Twitter question. I'll be reading your comments in just a few. The question is, what is your experience of breastfeeding at work? We have a lot of feedback coming in. I'm going to be reading that. I've also seen your personal experience. Allow me to use that because I found it very unique. I'll share it with people. Remember, you're talking to us via TV47KE and also my personal Twitter handle at Angie Wangeshi. I've seen very many tags. I'll be reading your comments in just a bit. Mulinge will be leaving us, but in her place we will have Shiro, who's also been engaging us on the side. He has very many questions. It will be quite an interesting session. Thank you very much, Mulinge, for your time. I'm hoping you'll still follow the conversation. And when you're seeing Geraldine struggling, just give her answers. We'll share on DM. Yeah, thank you very much for your contribution. Let's now take a short break. When we come back, we will switch Mulinge for Shiro, and then now we get straight into your feedback. Don't go away.
Visa vingi vya ukosefu wa kazi vimewalazimu watu wengi kujitosa katika hustle mbalimbali. Hapa katika Hustle Mashinani tunatambua bidii yako, ubunifu wako na kuikubali kazi yako.
Nafanya hustle ya kuuza chapati na maybe weekends wana hustle na kushuka watu nywele.
Food ni neighbor wangu. Hata hiyo kazi anafanya inamsaidia kulipa nyumba.
Ungana nami Magdalene Wanjiko kila siku ya Jumamosi saa 2:30 hapa TV47, macho na sauti yetu.
It's celebration time at the largest private university in East Africa, Mount Kenya University. Join us as we hold our 16th graduation ceremony on 9th August 2019 at Happy Valley Grounds, Thika, starting 9 a.m. The chief guest will be Professor Raymond Masharia, a scientific and educational researcher at the University of London. Come and learn the role of universities in enhancing sustainable development through community outreach programs. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
Uhuru, sheria na haki ni vipengee muhimu katika maisha ya kila siku.
Na iwapo serikali itafanikiwa katika makuzi ya jamii iliyo na mwelekeo, basi sharti sheria hizo zifuatwe.
Na kwa sababu sheria ni msumeno kukata mbele na nyuma, ni vyema kufahamu tungo hizi.
Siku zote jambo usilolijua ni kama usiku wa giza.
Ungana nami Clifford Ndubi.
Nami Andreen Kilemi.
Kila siku ya Jumatatu saa 1 jioni tukidonoa na kuchanganua sheria hizi
zinazotudhibiti.
na yote yanayofungana hufunguka. Kila kukicha, mapya yanasawazisha jana na ya leo.
Bila shaka hatuwezi kubadili muundo wa maisha yako, lakini hakikisho letu kwako ni kwamba tutahakikisha asubuhi yako inaanza katika mpigo uliobomba zaidi.
Inakuwaje Kenya tufunge Tanzania baada ya mechi kuimiliki?
Tunarauka nawe kwa uchambuzi wa kina wa taarifa mbalimbali.
Tutaangazia kaunti mbalimbali moja baada ya nyingine,
mazungumzo na majadiliano yanayokujenga wewe nafsi yako.
Hatutasahau burudani, Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa.
Naam, fuata nyuki ule asali. Wiki hii nitakupeleka kwenye tamasha za mapochopocho kemkem. Nikuonjeshe lishe mbalimbali na pilipili inayopasha. Je, wapenda vyakula vyenye ladha? Na je, wapenda burudani ya kisasa? Basi utakosaje? Tukutane saa 11 Jumamosi ijayo katika runinga uipendayo, TV47, macho na sauti yetu.
Welcome back. This is Engage. I'm really having a good time here. The discussions that are going on behind the scenes, we need an entire different 2 hours to do this show because it's, let me just give you a hint, it's just how they met their significant others. Jack is in shock. These people, they have millennial methods. Jackie time yake ilikuwa barua awa, wacha tu. We'll do another show on that day. So welcome back, ladies. We have Shiro who's now joining us. Shiro, karibu. So unaona vile tunafanya hii show. So we are being as candid as possible. We are also learning a lot from Jackie, who's had 20 years experience in this business. So in case you're wondering which business we are having this breastfeeding conversation, we're saying let's go to where it starts. People just know the discussion around why are people carrying their kids to work? Why are people breastfeeding in public? But we're also saying there's more to breastfeeding. First of all, the struggle. Like you have to have knowledge. You have to have a sober state of mind and many other things that we've been discussing. So you've been catching on. So if you have a question, you'll just throw it in like Jerry Izuku, even asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. So Jackie, you were telling us about, what were we talking about? About the latching and also what were you talking about? I don't want to water down what you were saying. There was a part you were explaining about women who probably don't, it was Mulinge, women who, but you'll pick it up from there, women who probably want to breastfeed, but they need to do certain things to get their milk flowing. So you can kindly pick it up from there, nutrition wise.
Yeah, basically what we are saying a breastfeeding mom needs to feed right. And as I had earlier on said, when you are breastfeeding, you need the 3 B's. You need the brain of the mother, you need the breast, and you need the baby. And the mother will be feeding on a balanced diet, as we had earlier on said. And the mother doesn't need to take a lot of porridge so that it fills up the space for the other types of food. She just needs to take a balanced diet, what she can afford at the right time, then the milk production will be there. And she takes a lot of fluids, especially water, so that the time she's breastfeeding, she can, like what I was doing myself, the times I was breastfeeding, as I start breastfeeding, the glass of water is here, or something to take. You'll find that when you are breastfeeding, you feel very thirsty. So to replace that thirst, you need to take a lot of water.
A lot of water, which
because
is what
you
you're
realize
saying, a lot of fluids. Doesn't have to be uji.
Yeah, you realize normal human being.
Can warm milk do?
Yeah, warm milk can do.
Yeah.
When you are taking these fluids, or you need to, at the back of your mind, you need to know the nutritive value. When you can do a balanced diet and realize that at this time, maybe at 10, I'll be taking milk this much. And then these other times, you'll be taking water. Then when you have walked your journey with your service provider, that is a midwife, a nurse, or a nutritionist, you have drawn a balanced diet, and therefore that will meet your nutritional value, your nutritional needs, not necessarily taking uji and a lot of it, which may just meet one thing.
Yeah. And also give you a very big tummy.
Yeah.
You'll tell us if that is true or not. So we are trying to get back our pre-baby board, and here you have someone giving you 20 liters of uji. Shiro, this is a conversation we're having. What was your personal experience before we go to now challenges, because this is the biggest problem?
Okay. Where do I?
There are many.
I actually don't think I enjoyed breastfeeding at all. And then, which hospitals are these that actually teach people? Because I went to a private hospital. You enter,
do your thing and
scan, uende. They just check your weight, your blood pressure, and fetal, and to see if the fluid is okay, if it's in quantities, and then you go. So for you to say the hospitals, we need this list, we need to know. So I went for CS, but me, I was told to sleep for 4 hours. You're not even sleeping. You just lay on your back for 4 hours looking at nothing. So, and then, my child was also introduced to formula. So I think that's where also the problem got in. I'm not expressing milk. And then the nurses were really not helpful. They're here, they're like, when kasichana kadogo, okay, the body, because my body is really, really tiny. So they're here, they already have a misconception. Oh, hautaki kukula, hautaki kupoteza mwili. And I'm like, I am eating. Even the guy from the kitchen of that hospital still has my number up to date.
He was bringing extra portions.
Yes, because
in the middle of the night,
even in the middle of the night, I am really so hungry. I'm eating. There's no milk. And then there was another lady who was on the bed next to me. She was telling me how she was given a pill that helped her express milk, because she was also under CS. So I was asking the nurse, I am doing all these things. Why don't you also help me? Because she was given once, and then it opened her, and then she was not given again. And she's like, "Hapana, when mdogo nini." So, going home now, I think I went through every traditional food, including the soup that imekwa ile miti ya Wamasai, and that thing is so disgusting. You're there, you're told drink itafungua, and then everybody from everywhere is coming, eat this, eat that. And then tena when you're from the hospital, the doctor tells you, for CS, you're not supposed to eat this kind of foods. When you go home, that is the same food you're getting there, so you're there.
You're like, okay.
Yeah, and everybody is judging you for not producing milk because you're young, you're new, you don't want that. There's really not that much help. Because now then I had to call my pediatrician, and then he said, it's okay, I can introduce my child to formula. And then he prescribed a certain one. It's about in a yellow tin. One, it is very rare to find it. And two, when you find it, it is very expensive. Because the usual one goes for around 1,400, that one goes for around 3,000.
And doesn't even go for more than 4 days.
Yes, and it doesn't go for more than 4 days. And on top of that, you're told, oh, go get fenugreek seeds. Hey, that budget, I think that budget, by the time I was finished, I was like, you know what?
I'm not doing this again.
I don't think it's worth it.
The one I'm calling natural contraceptives.
Yes, like, those are the natural contraceptives. No, but it's not worth it. And then everybody around you is judging you. Like, I know, for me, there's only one lady who came to help me, and it was after I called. I was like, by the way, I'm really struggling, you can come home. So she came home and she walked me through. Before that, everybody else, why are you not producing milk? I'm like, if I knew where this milk is being gotten from, I would have gone and gotten it. Then they're like, no, Jajo, umeamua haukuli, pea mtoto maziwa. I'm like, okay, so right.
And have you had an uncomfortable incident where you have to go with your child to work or nurse the baby in public, and you've had a nasty experience?
Yes, the first clinic where you go back with the child, the hospital. Now, you're there. You're not producing.
One, is it?
Yeah, the 2 weeks.
The two weeks?
The 2 weeks.
Yes. The 2 weeks,
yeah,
the
where you
initial
go.
one?
Yes, the initial one.
Yeah,
the initial one where you also go for your review as well.
Too. Yeah.
Yes, so you, I get there. I'm not producing enough milk. I went back to the hospital where I gave birth. So these nurses are all looking at me with these very judgmental eyes.
Yani wewe msichana ulikata kunyonyesha kabisa.
And then, yes,
not even high. How
and
you
then,
guys doing?
And then there's this nurse, she's even coming there, she's pressing my breast. She's like, unaona kuna maziwa. I'm like, hey, okay. And like, and then the baby couldn't even latch properly. So I'm wondering, okay, siwezi inua mtoto nasikia uchungu because the scar is there. Hey, the scar is there, so you can feel. And then now you're told also, don't overlift, don't overwork the scar. Itatokana and it will be more painful than what you're feeling. So you're there like, hey. I think when I was discharged, I was given more of threats than advice. Yes. And I think that most hospitals actually
Jackie,
do that.
you're seeing the gaps that we're talking about.
So I think most hospitals actually do that because even comparing my experience with other moms of the same where we gave birth at the same time, and like by that I mean nilambo usifanye hivyo or this will happen, like okay, so and then you also can't Google because every child is different. And then you're here. I think it goes also to the brain because now everybody's telling me you're not producing milk, you're not doing this. Everybody's here saying how you are not
going back to state of mind. Already unakoroga mtu from what you're saying. You're harassing the client. You're calling the baby the client, but I'm also like you're an expectant mom. I think it also starts from this issue of not getting enough milk from the way you handle the expectant mother. That's what I'm saying. For you, it's a passion, so it comes naturally to treat an expectant mother well. So you're concerned, like, Jerry, what's going on? You talk to her, you listen. You're not just doing your rounds in the hospital and moving on to clear a shift. You go to the next person and customize their needs based on what they're saying. But you see, we also need to sensitize the medical personnel because now you see this problem is starting. She's feeling more threatened than advised. She's a new mom. It's her first child probably, and then this is a CS. Then you're there telling her, by the way, instead of advising. So let's first take a look at the tweets. Remember the tweet question was, have you ever had an experience with breastfeeding at work or in public? We have, Geraldine had posted something on to read, but most of the people are more drawn to yesterday's incident. You know, like it was uncalled for. There was an unnecessary force used on the member of parliament. That is true, but also we have now decided to deal with the entire breastfeeding topic. Geraldine, you posted. This reminds me of a day I had to carry my 4-month-old son to work for a meeting, which you've told us about it, which we actively participated in, and later, must head count that took the whole day. When my house help decided not to show up in the morning, she will tell us if you've had those DM incidences. Then you've tagged the Think Your Friend. You remember, but my co-workers were very supportive. I said that's a very key issue, not like this one's here who threw. You also mentioned yesterday's incident, not like this one's here who threw the woman rep out of parliament. But that was just a nasty incident. We have Lily Rono who said, many moons ago while teaching at the Nairobi Muslim Academy, my domestic manager left me high and dry one morning. That same day we had a staff meeting, and being one of the heads of department, it was crucial that I attend. That's the same thing you're saying, like you have to be there in person. Well, I attended the meeting and dragged along her DH, her dear hubby. to help. He's so unlucky to help me look after my son as the meeting was ongoing. At some point, my son wanted to breastfeed, and guess what? I did that while the meeting was going on. No fuss at all. I mean, some of these incidences, you just don't have an option. Then we have Mohammed saying, here in New Zealand, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and her baby at the UN General Assembly. The people, there's a picture attached. The people we inherited these so-called parliamentary rules, Wazungu, and traditions have since moved on. Utter nonsense that an African mother member of parliament and her 5-month-old baby can be ejected from her workplace in 2019. That's why I started this show by asking, why are we still having this conversation in this day and age where people are so uncomfortable? So you were telling us about your experience, and I was saying there's a gap. Yeah. Because if the people who are entrusted to empower us with knowledge are harassing us, you know, they say, first of all, I've heard things like, even from the home setup, now juu ukiingia huko, clan yetu wa to scream, already you're threatened, don't go and embarrass us there by screaming, there's that. So you're already thinking, okay, what is it I'm screaming about? Is it that horrible that I'll be required to scream? So you're thinking, okay, what's going on? Then you get in there and find people who tell you, nyinyi watoto wa siku hizi mnapata mimba mkiwa wadogo, mnakuja kutusumbua hapa, like, and then someone else is telling your bedmates probably is telling you, huku hakuna aibu. Ukishafika hapa hakuna aibu, so anything happens. So she's already traumatizing you, or he, the male nurse or female nurse, is telling you, first of all, you're given, why are people given gowns that are open at the back? You'll tell us that. First of all, you're thinking, everyone is seeing me, so you don't know, utashikilia nyuma, utashikilia mbele. So there's so much going on. She's laughing because she knows what we are saying. So I think it also needs to start, not even from us, it's the medical personnel. They should know how to handle people. Then also empower women. Many of us don't have the right knowledge on how to handle this. So we are going in there green. Jerry saying she just, tulale sawa umeniletea mtoto asanti. This one is thinking, how do I handle? This one is feeling threatened, so we can't even function. And with that, our brains shut down. And you said you need the 3 Bs. You need the baby, you need the breast and the brain, which is already messed up by now. So don't be surprised if we don't have milk. So the other thing I'd want us to address as we wrap up, thank you ladies for sharing. I'm sure you've gained 1, 2, 3 things. We'll still continue with this discussion off air, because I'm thinking we want to catch up with them. We want to get their numbers and help someone out there. I think also Jackie should deal with doing your own workshops, not necessarily in the work setup. You know, like you already have us. You can have us as a group, and then what she gains, she can also share. You get, so like you're doing your little bit. It takes everyone's effort to help another mom out there. I'm sure very many have been helped today by listening to, they're looking at them and thinking, yeah, they've gone through that, you know, they expect you to be like, I have it in control. They're surprised. You and I are talking about their hospitals that during ANC, they tell you, this is how to handle the baby. And also like the one I had attended, they taught me about expressing milk like 2 months or a month before giving birth. Did you know that? Like you can actually start expressing. Yeah, she can tell us more about that. She's the expert. Like just start before you even deliver, like a month too. Demystify that.
You can actually express milk earlier if we have people whom their prolactin levels are too high. And the milk is just flowing, not even like she can hold. So in such cases, you are just advised, instead of leaving it to flow, you express, you stop. So that this time when you have gone through labor and maybe the body has shut down, the milk production is not there, the baby can feed on what you already stored. It's very ideal because the bodies, as I had said earlier,
it helps.
I had said earlier, our bodies respond differently. So mine can produce milk after delivery. Somebody else will produce a few weeks to delivery. So if it is producing a few weeks to delivery, then stop.
You correct me if I'm wrong, Jacqueline, but it also helps like for later on, like if probably your brain had not registered the message for some reason or other,
Yeah,
it can help you and also like soften the area. So by the time the baby comes, you're not uncomfortable, like you're feeling, hey, this is a strange thing, like it's already used to having the motion. Excuse my, she has the nini, she should explain. She has the dummy,
The same way they say, I don't know, like a friend is telling me for them, they found an old nurse. For her, she was going to some public hospital and she was told like maybe the husband can
it happens in a particular community.
So the milk can
they breastfeed.
Also, I don't know, Jacinta, she's reminded me something. There's a community, we will not name names, where now the hubby has been left for one and the child has been left for the other. I mean, are these things even advisable in the first place? Because we are talking about not giving the child one side for long, because now the other one also suffers.
Those are some of the problems associated now with breastfeeding, where cultural issues are coming in and they are impeding the smooth running of breastfeeding. But we can't now chase them away, because if this community believes that and my community doesn't believe that, I can't rule out that this person can go this way. But what we are encouraging is that she needs to breastfeed on both, so that the milk production is on both, because the time the husband is not now breastfeeding, what happens with this breast?
Geraldine is dying of shock. So it's another take home as we wrap up this show. Thank you very much, ladies, for your time. I'm sure we've helped someone out there. We've also benefited in one way or another. So when you guys are doing round 2, 3, 4, wherever you're at, now you know where to go. We need mothers who have a better experience, so that you're not looking at it like phobia, like, oh my God, am I going there again? So you can hook up with Jackie, you can hook up with Mulinge, and just have a better, I'd like to be part of your journeys, a better experience than you had. This is what this show is about. It's Engage. You get closure, you get knowledge, you get to know how to do things better the next time. Also, probably another take home could be you can be expressing during your downtime. Like if the baby is sleeping, yes, you're told when the baby sleeps out of his sleep, we are busy at taking pictures. How cute, instead of resting. And then the moment they're awake, now you want to sleep. So you can also use that time to express and store in case of an emergency. So probably when the baby's, especially when they're unwell, they want more of mommy's milk than anything else. Then there's also the issue of cow milk versus goat milk, because you're told if you can't do formula because it's very expensive, do goat milk because it's closer to human milk. Is that true?
First of all, people need to know the cost. When you are not doing exclusive breastfeeding, you need to equip yourself with around 90,000 for the 6 months.
See now,
So when you don't have the money,
90,000 in 6 months,
then you go the cheaper way, the easier way, which is breastfeeding. So when you calculate it that way, then you will realize that breastfeeding is cheaper, it is easier, readily available. Those are some of the advantages.
And the goat milk aspect?
Goat milk is actually meant, and the cow's milk, they are meant for the cow and the goats. Why? Because the protein content is too high for this baby.
Thank you very much, Jackie. That's all the time we had for today. So like you've heard, the goat milk and the cow milk is just meant for that. Mbuzi na kondo, mbuzi na ng'ombe. Kondo imetokea wapi? So thank you so much for joining us on Engage today. We've learned so much about this breastfeeding. It was brought about by yesterday's incident in Parliament, but out of that we've got to learn about so many things. That's it for today on Engage. Join me next week same time on Engage. We'll be having more heart-to-heart discussions on matters affecting us on a daily basis. Don't go away though, we have a lot of programming lined up for you. Do stand by for Matukio Nyanjani coming up next. Until next Thursday, goodbye.